My name is Eric Worre, and today I have top network marketing earners and social media experts, John and Nadya Melton. They're going to talk about their journey, their lessons learned along the way, and going to give you some tips on how you can do better in social media. So with no further ado, let's jump into my conversation with John and Nadya Melton. John and Nadya Melton, let's spend the rest of time talking about social media.
Yeah.
Internet shows up. You start going, when did you go, this could be a thing?
So we
Do you remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
2012, yes?
2012.
Yes.
The 4-Hour Work Week, Tim Ferriss.
Yes.
Also.
Do you remember that book?
Sure.
It opened up our minds.
But also.
Especially when he said you got to think globally.
Yeah.
We're like, wow, we were like living in this little shell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what were we doing?
Well, and all the face-to-face, belly-to-belly stuff that we did in the early days is still amazing and
Yes.
good. And face-to-face changes relationships, all
Yeah.
of that. I remember 2009. I'm like, this Facebook thing
Right.
could be a thing. That was back in the MySpace days. People
Yeah.
had their own custom
Right.
music on MySpace. But Facebook came out, and I said, I remember telling my kids, I think I'm going to do this Facebook thing, and they just freaked out. They're like, this is for students. You know, don't be the creepy old guy. If you go on it, we're going off of it. We're blocking you. This is so embarrassing. But I did, and I saw it. I remember talking to Gary Vaynerchuk. That's where Network Marketing Pro kind of started from that. So you're a few years after that. You're in the grind, doing the thing. And about what would you say, 2013?
Yeah. I would
10
say
years.
2012 is when we started paying attention to like
10, 11 years
Gary
ago.
V, Shalene Johnson, Mike Dillard, Magnetic Sponsoring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ray Higdon, We started seeing these people. But you know what really got me to start doing videos and wanting to figure out how to build online? First of all, we were burnt out. Our back was against the wall. And I'm like, I love the money we're making and I want to make more, but I'm not seeing how we can scale this without even more sacrifice. Like we're going to have to literally like live in other places and be on planes. There's got to be either I'm going to figure out a better way to do it from home, which ended up being online, right? Social media, or I'm out of network marketing. I'm just going to be done with it. And David Wood and his little Empower Network videos. And then I remember, Eric, I tried to talk to Nadya and she is just like blinders on, doesn't want to hear it. So I have to do this all on my own. Like I'm riding this roller coaster.
You're like, I'm out. I'm doing my way.
She's still doing the old school.
I'm out of your stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She didn't want to hear about it. So I couldn't talk to her, couldn't talk to my upline, couldn't talk to my downline, had no one to talk to. And then evenally a couple guys.
I told him, I'm like, baby, you're being negative.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? Your depression session. I don't subscribe.
Right. And then I had a couple buddies of mine that left the company we were in. And it's like, they're like the Antichrist, right? That's how it is. Especially back then. It's like, oh, they left. They're, traitors, all these things. And I'm like, I know those guys. They're not like that. I was like, I want to talk to him, but like, I think it's like, even if I talk to them, I might get in trouble. Like, that's how it was back then. It was like, if they found out you were even looking at something else, you're suspended, terminated, out.
Still is something.
It is, yeah. And actually that company probably still would do that to some people. But long story short, I get on the phone with a couple of these guys and it was over. And I didn't even join them, but it was over.
You saw how they were doing it.
When they explained to me the differences, and this isn't a pitch on product companies, but we were in a service-based company. And when they explained to me that when you're in a product-based company, everyone you recruit, they're automatically qualified. In the company we were in, you didn't get paid on the $500 fee. That was just a fee. You had to get these people qualified with services. It was just such a nightmare. And when I get on the phone with these guys and they explain to me, and they're both in different companies, but they're good friends of mine. I trusted them. I remember being in the driveway for like 2 hours one night and my mind is racing. And I'm like, I gotta tell Nadya. It's time for her to know what I've been researching and I need to get her to listen this time. So I sat her down, I explained everything and I'm like, we need to find a good product.
This is why I married you, John. He's the only one that is able to move a mountain. How did you do it? Go ahead.
And Eric, she's like, after I'm done talking to her, she's like, I'm done. I'm like, no, we can't quit yet. I haven't even found a company. She's like, no, I'm done. I can't even do this company anymore. And I'm like, wait. You can't quit yet. I need to find a company. Like, so she was done. Like literally she stopped going to meetings.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, where's Nadya for like 3 months while I'm trying all these products? I'm getting on the phone with owners. I'm like, if I go somewhere else, I'm going somewhere good with the top people. Like I knew I was following the top 100 income earners in network marketing. I'm friending them all up. I'm getting on phone calls and I'm having to do all of this without my upline finding out, without my downline finding out. Like I'm freaking out, but I'm so determined.
Secret agent.
Yes. And actually I had some really good conversations with people that educated me on different things. And the long and the short of it is we ended up joining Vima.
We branded ourselves by that company.
Right.
So, and then we
Big
go,
mistake.
wait a minute, maybe we ought to unsubscribe from being an infomercial channel and let's begin building a brand. So in 2013, the big decision that happened for us is we started to really adapt this. Let's show up with value.
Yeah.
Let's be, very secretive about what business we represent, because clearly, if you don't own your network marketing company,
Right.
so if something happens and we've had the rug pulled from under us, so we started building the brand whilst he
Your personal brand.
is
Yeah.
personal
We started
brand
doing attraction marketing,
on
bottom line. Yeah.
Facebook. We started doing videos, and for John, it came really, really easy because I say he's an extrovert and like you're very good with people. So he it was just awkward videos, where you could see up his nose and like just things.
I'm like
but he
driving.
started
Talking to the camera.
He started talking. For me, it was really, really brutal. So when people go, gosh, I'm like really bad at this, I'm really bad
I
at
can't
that.
imagine it being brutal.
It's everything I'm good at today.
I want
was really bad
I want to
at.
see the bad.
Oh, I
videos.
deleted all the footage.
What?
Yes.
She deleted-
Yes.
I couldn't get her to upload videos.
No.
It must exist somewhere.
I deleted all of it. But that's like nowadays, if I could go back and change one thing, I would keep all that footage.
Of course.
Because now I have better perspective.
Yeah,
Like
you
life
could say,
makes
look where
sense.
I was, look where I am.
Yes, it makes sense when you look at it backwards, and it would be great comedic value. Can you imagine? Like I would be laughing. I appreciate good comedy. Anyways, but I did a 30-day challenge is what I want to say. Like because I was so bad at it, and I decided to me at the time again, we had to, our number one initiative became, we have to replace an old school model. Like we only had one income streams with 6 figures. I'm like, we need to replace at least a 6-figure income, but we have to do it online because our kids and like all these things. And that initiative pushed me so far outside of my comfort zone. It was brutal. Maybe John, remember I would like record this cringy videos and I would be sweat. Oh, it was just
Well, I remember
bad.
you with your selfie stick. Like everywhere we went, she's always recording
And then
videos.
I became obsessed.
Yeah.
This is right.
It would
Whatever
drive-
happened to
Obsession is
selfie
key.
sticks?
I know,
I just
I
don't
know.
see them anymore.
I know. We were talking about that recently. She was
discouraged
determined,
me.
and those videos definitely changed the game for us because we started to figure out how to create valuable content, attract like-minded people, tell our story on social media. And we didn't say the name of the company. So when Vima got shut down by the FTC, which totally sucked. I mean, we had 7,000 people on our team in 2 years. It was like a blip.
You're okay.
Yeah.
Because you had your skills.
We immediately
you had-
replaced our income.
You had your abilities.
Yeah.
You had your network. You had your brand.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I would also let me just mention one thing because people are like, wow, this wreckage of company after company that didn't do well. Sometimes you look at what's going on in our world today. In the United States, as an example, if somebody wants to get you in the government, they're going to get you.
Yeah.
I don't want this to freak people out. It's just like, if I get involved with a company, are they going to be around for forever? Let me be straight with everybody. Companies come and go. Professionals are forever. Most people, if you work for a software company, that company might go out of business, but you have your software skills, you go to another company. And now we hope it doesn't, because the relationships and the stability that we build and organizations that we build and all that stuff, we hope. But the reason why I encourage people to become professionals is you are the asset, ultimately. And we do our due diligence, we do our best, and we hope.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a way if you have the skills.
Yeah.
If you're completely, totally dependent on company or platform, that's one thing. If you have the skills, now you have all the power.
Yeah.
And if you have all the skills and all the power, you're in a good place.
That's it.
Because you have the ability to say, bye. You don't own me. You don't control me. You are the boss. You are the CEO. So it's a very unique time, whether it's news or influence. Take a look at the influencers.
Yeah.
It's
Build the brand. Yes.
the brand,
Yes.
the brand, which leads you to opportunity. The brand leads you to conversations you wouldn't have been in. In our business, in the network marketing business, the brand leads you to prospects, leaders, leads you to distributors. It leads you to build a connection with people that want to do business with you.
Yeah. It puts you in a situation where you never have to worry about money again.
Yeah. Because you can flex anytime you want to flex.
Right.
Yeah.
I can launch something.
Promote a product to your company, promote an event, anything that'll be able to go in. So a lot of people have this limiting belief that if I don't know a lot of people,
yes, exactly,
I can't grow. It's just, I just don't know that many people. I live in a small town. I have all these limiting beliefs, and I understand their limiting beliefs because, well, what are going to be my raw materials in order to be able, what's my inventory of prospects to be able to go to? Most people join network marketing because they have a mental candidate list of people that would probably join with them.
So true.
So then they say, okay, here's my credit card. Let's join. And then they start with that mental candidate list. Oh, this person would be perfect. This person would be amazing. This person's going to say yes for sure. And they have yes or no happens with that first little thing. Most people, they go to their first 5. If they get 1, they're probably going to stay around. If they get none of their first 5, they're probably going to say, I guess it didn't work. It's like a lottery ticket, rip it up and move on.
Yeah.
But when I ask this question of top earners, what percentage of your current downline, or let's even make it more finite, what percentage of your personal recruits knew you the day that you joined your company? And it's always 5% or less.
Yeah, tiny.
It's who you meet after. It's who you connect with after. It's learning the networking skill of connecting with other people and building kind of a brand that people say, you know what, I'd like to do business with this person. You know what, I'm going to find out what they do. You know what, I'm going to send them a DM. You know what, they said, put I'm in the comments if I'm interested. I'm going to put I'm in and see what happens.
Yeah.
So anybody who's a little stressed about not knowing enough people, this profession will teach you how to be able to find unlimited prospects. Back to social media. Walk me through the lessons that you've learned and what are the things that every person should focus on if they want to utilize the social media platforms in order to be able to, make friends, make connections, turn those into prospects, turn those prospects into customers and distributors. How do what are the lessons learned from doing that?
I love what you said, because if we don't have this abundance mindset when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to building a brand, when it comes to lead generation, like that's a hindrance.
It used to annoy me.
Yeah.
Pardon me for interrupting, but it used to annoy me because people say there's 7 billion people on the planet. There's plenty of people to talk to. I said, well, I don't know them. They might exist, but I don't know them. How am I going to talk to these people? I'm not walk to people up to people on the street.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
So I agree. We can have an abundance mentality because now we have the tools.
We have the tools now. We have contrast, because back in the day, we were calling resumes. Like that was exhausting, right? So I think when you take a look at platforms like TikTok, right? AI kind of like platform where it's a platform where you can have 0 followers, open up an account, create a video, and TikTok is going to help you build your audience, right? Now, if you suck in the beginning, we need to rip the Band-Aid off and we need to go all in and we need to create, like when we first did a run, like when TikTok came out, John is like, baby, I think we have to master it. I'm like, you're right. So let's do a 30-day run. Let's throw everything at it, but the kitchen sink, like let's try trends. Let's try face to camera. Let's try B-roll footage. Like, let's just be curious. I think when we stop being frustrated, right, with social media and things and overwhelmed, and we start being like fascinated and curious. So we had so much fun with it. We created 218 videos, something like that, in 60 days. And we grew that following by 60,000 people. So we learned, and then I just kind of became a mathematician. Math was my minor in college. So then I love to go back and look, okay, what worked, what didn't, what can we do better? And it consistently evolves. So I think, making a decision to build a personal brand, because that's going to give you the luxury to create your own economy. And in the beginning, I feel it's not our job to know everything. Like sometimes the how to is not about business. I do believe that, when God gives you a vision, he doesn't create junk. And I think sometimes we're so selfish, right? When we just go, well, me. But if social media, if you look at it like you're opening up a bank account, you cannot withdraw from an empty bank account. You have to show up consistently. You have to be diligent. You have to bring value. You have to find yourself in the process whilst having fun.
Yeah. Here's
right?
and finding ways to be funny, even if you're not a funny person necessarily. Like I never played with memes and all that stuff, just started recently.
Yeah.
And the engagement, nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
That's fun.
Here's the rule. Try everything. Don't be boring.
Right.
Find a way to be interesting. You don't have to be pretty. You don't have to be clever. You can leverage other people's cleverness. You just have to start.
Yeah.
Because once you get people looking, then you have an opportunity to be able to have a conversation. Say, hey, you want to go have a little separate conversation over here, and I can tell you about something that I've got that's going on, and you can create that. John, what are some of the lessons that you've picked up?
I think one of the big mistakes that people make, especially when they first get started with social media, is they want to just do this attraction marketing thing and they sit back twiddling their thumbs, waiting for people to come to them, to raise their hand. And my top people, the people that are consistently selling, recruiting, not only do they get very good at the content creation for creating curiosity around the products, because, we always say the 80-20 rule still today is super relevant. 80% of the time, you should post things that are either the 3 E's, empowering, entertaining, or educational, right? We like to entertain. And you want to try to incorporate your own story, your own, way of sharing things, your own perspective. But 10 to 20% of the time, you do need to somehow, some way talk about your product.
What are those 3 again?
Business.
Empowering, educating, or entertaining.
What I would say, you could put up over all of that as an umbrella is value.
Yeah.
Bring them value.
Yeah. Where they come to your page, and if they see that post, they see that video, they're going to get value from it, even if they never buy.
And also another pro tip is if you can put something in there that would make them think of someone else that should hear this, and they'll share it.
Yes.
To that other person, oh, my friend needs to hear this, and shares it. That's like the superpower.
Right. If someone has so many leads and customers coming in and recruits coming in, they can't keep up, they're never getting discouraged. They might get a little burnt out. They might get a little overwhelmed. The most positive problem in the world to have when you have so many new followers, so many people in your DMs. But the truth is, most of us, like you said, we overcomplicate this. We overthink this. We get that analysis paralysis, and we do nothing except the same old thing that's not working, or nothing at all. So for us, what we found is we've got to keep it simple in the beginning with, the content creation. The 80-20 rule is relevant, but then you got to connect with people.
Yeah.
Right.
The one
Don't
thing
post and ghost.
Yeah, the one thing, right? The one thing for me, the one thing that if, and I tell people this in my trainings, I'm like, if you could see what I do behind the scenes,
Yes.
you could see what I'm posting, but what you're not realizing is when I see a comment, a like, a share, a follow, a friend request from someone that I either don't know or haven't talked to in a while, I'm in the inbox.
And
I'm in the
saying,
inbox.
hey, thanks for the like.
Yeah. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the love. Hey, it's been a while. How's the family? I mean, you just have to become both a marketer and a prospector. The 2 P's, posting and prospecting. That's what leads to profits.
Yeah.
And some
Yes,
people do,
baby.
some people do one or the other, right?
Right.
Or you see people that are straight up infomercial.
Sure.
It's just all product. It's just posting pictures of the product, and that's not valuable, right? That's
Right.
not valuable unless somebody's ready to buy. That's not a value-based post. So it's like,
And they trust you more too when you
Right.
share something
Yeah.
that you don't make money on.
right,
Sure.
Like that's kind of like a quicker route to building trust
right.
as well.
One other thing that I will tell you is for some people that might be like, whoa, feels like a lot. I don't know if I could figure this out. One is if you just start,
Yeah.
have your kids teach you.
Yeah. So true.
They can teach you. They'll teach you every trick. Beep, 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 hit all the buttons, and oh wow, I didn't know I could do that. Have them give you a little tutorial. They'll enjoy it. They'll laugh at you while they're doing it. But they'll teach you that. But with whatever you want your brand to be, you could decide to be the voice, the authority about that. Most people aren't ready for that.
Yeah.
Because they're not an authority yet. But you can be a curator.
Right.
Let's say there's something you're passionate about, whether it's castor oil or whatever.
Yeah.
you can curate by finding other videos, by finding articles, by interviewing experts, by doing all different types of things in order to be able to bring value to people that are searching for that content. The more obscure, the better almost for some of these things versus being general health or something. If you want to talk about a specific area, kind of the more easy it is for people to find you and make you different. But just start. Number one, I will tell you my opinion on this is quantity solves almost all your problems.
Yep.
Because in the quantity, you will be able to make course corrections and find out what works and what doesn't. If you post one thing, you just don't know. If you post 10 things, you can see, oh, that one worked better than that one. Post 100, you're going to see, oh, these 2 did this, these 10 did that, these 90 did, or 88 did nothing, or nothing significant. All right, I'm going to focus more here. And you make course corrections, adjust. The big thing that I will tell you here that I want to pull from what you just said, John, is post the stuff, but then you need to be in charge. You're the professional. You need to be in charge of creating the conversation and leading the conversation. Make the connection. Our job is to get into conversation and then keep the conversation going. And you just never know. Every person that you're connected to on social is a doorway to a million people.